Hello, my name is Nowlin. This is my presentation on the moon phases using Oreo cookies. Moon phases happen as the moon moves around the Earth, which usually takes around 28 days. This process makes the moon appear to be more or less visible at different phases during this cycle. When a part of the moon is shadowed and invisible, that means that part of the moon is turned away from the sun. Half of the moon is always in shadow and half is always illuminated, but we see different phases based on the moon's position in relation to us and the sun. This Oreo with cream still all there is called a full moon. The moon appears to be a perfect circle. This is when one half of the moon is illuminated by the sun. As the moon orbits Earth, it lights up whatever side of the moon is facing it. This makes it look like moonlight, but it's actually reflected sunlight. When the moon is between the sun and the Earth, we call it a new moon. The sun cannot reflect down to Earth, so the moon looks like it has disappeared. I took all of the cream off of this Oreo to show that. The moon is still there, we just can't see it. Next, we're going to go over the first and last quarters. These happen between the full and new moon, where only a quarter of the moon, or at least what we see, is showing. As the moon continues its orbit around the Earth, the part that is visible to us grows or shrinks. When the visible gets bigger, that means it's waxing. When it gets smaller, it's called waning. Okay. As the moon approaches the sun, getting closer to a new moon, the moon appears to shrink. New moon to a full moon, it appears to grow. These shapes are called waxing gibbets and waxing crescents. After the new moon, the moon appears to grow. These are called waning gibbets and waning crescents. And a waning crescent. As you can see, the shape of the moon depends on where the sun is hitting in its orbit. Moon phases can be used to track time and were an important tool towards learning how planetary objects orbit each other. By tracking moon phases, we were able to learn that the moon orbits the Earth and the Earth orbits the sun.